Welcome to Challenge Forex. My name is Steve, and recently I've been doing some back testing using software on MT4 to see if we can find a strategy that would work well for passing a prop firm fairly quickly. So maybe within like 4 to 6 weeks perhaps. And the test that I've been doing, I've been using a 1 hour chart, and I've tried with various indicators using the EMA and also MACD, RSI and stochastic, to see if I can find one which actually works well. Now, all of those have actually been successful, and if you have a look at my previous videos, you'll see some good results from all of those. But I've had a request from one of my followers to do a similar sort of back test, but using a 15-minute chart. So I'm guessing they are not really keen on trading with a 1 hour chart. So today I'm going to do that, and the indicators I'm going to use are the EMA and RSI for this test on a 15-minute chart. So let's have a look at the chart now. Have a look at the screen and we'll get it set up. So I'm going to do the test on the Australian dollar and Australian dollar USD. The date I've chosen was the 1st of March 2004 for this test, so it's a way back, and I'm going to do the same test using different time periods as well, so just to prove that this is something that will actually work in the long term, not just at one stage in history. So we're choosing here a 15-minute chart. Now we're going to risk 2% per trade and going for 3% target. So it is basically a 1 to 1.5 risk to reward. And just to load the indicator up, we're going to use the let's see, EMA RSI. I'm going to make a slight change to the actual settings. So the RSI, I'm going to change the period to 10 to use on this one, just so that we can see the extremes a little bit better from higher to lower. We're going to add 3 levels on the actual on the indicator. We're going to have a 30, 50 and 70. And the reason for this is when we have a pullback to the EMAs, it doesn't necessarily need to pull back to the extremes like the 70 or the 30. Even a pullback to the 50% line is actually okay. So that's why we're having the 3 lines on the indicator. We're actually going to add a 200 on here as well. So we've got an EMA 20, 50 and 200. And now let's get started. So during this back test, if it's going to take more than about say 15 or 20 minutes, I will fast forward the middle section just to cut out this and make it a little bit shorter video for you. I will explain the rules a little bit as I'm going along as well, just to give you a bit of an idea of what I'm looking for. The main thing I'm looking for though is I want the EMAs to be in line, so 20, 50 and 200 all above each other in order, sort of like they are right now on the chart. We can see here we've got the the 200, and the 50 is above that, and the 20 is above that one. So we need them in order. We want to pull back at least to the 20 or even to the 50. Either one is okay. And we want some sort of a pullback to the RSI. So whether it's a pullback to the 50 line or a pullback to the 70 line for a long. Let's just see how we go. Also, I'm looking at the start time as well. Now, at the moment we can see down here the actual time on each candle, and I'm looking at 9 o'clock onwards for this particular broker. That is actually an hour before London open. for my actual start times. So here it looks like we've got our first setup. No, sorry, it's not. The actual time is too early. It's only 8 o'clock. So let's go a little bit further. We didn't actually have a setup there, and so let me backpedal a little bit on this one. I think this might have been a setup. No, the EMAs are not lined up, so we didn't have a setup yet, so all good. Let's just carry on, look for another one. We're only going to do one trade per day, so we're keeping in line with prop firm rules. We can only lose a maximum of 4% per day, but if we do one trade per day and we risk 2%, then that is the maximum we can lose in a day. So we will lose in each day either 2% or gain 3%. And looking at our EMA's spaghetti like this, we're going to skip trading altogether. We want to actually see a bit of a defined trend direction. Okay, we can see here that the moving averages are starting to fan out. We can see also lower highs are forming and lower lows. So let's put this trade on. Usually when I do these back tests on camera, my first trade or first couple of trades turns out to be a loss. So let's see how that works out. Okay, we were lucky in this time. We actually got a win on our first trade, so a little bit unusual for me, but it's good to see. So already we're up 3%. The target that we're going for is 10%. The maximum we can lose overall is 10%. I'm going for 4% drawdown per day, but that one really doesn't matter with the rules that we're using anyway, because we're only risking 2% per day anyhow. So watching now the actual time of day to see if we can get a trade. It's only 6 AM at the moment. Okay, it's 9 o'clock now, so if we see a setup, we can get in. And this is a good setup for me. Hopefully it'll work out. But we can see here a pullback above the EMA 20 and then below again to close. And we had a pullback on the RSI to the 50 line and then a close below. So we measure now the stop loss. So that's about 30 pips. And 1.5 is 45. And I add 1 pip extra to the take profit just to actually cover for the cost of commissions and spreads. Okay, we've been lucky so far. We've actually had 2 wins, so we're actually up 6%, and I'm pretty sure this won't carry on for too long. We'll probably see a loss coming up soon. Would be great to win maybe 3 or 4 trades in a row and then pass the prop firm challenge without any losses. That would be awesome, but that's a very rare thing. It doesn't happen very often, and probably not many people could actually do that as well. So I'm not expecting to win this example here. So at the moment the EMAs are not really lined up properly. Okay, the EMAs are starting to fan out now, but we're actually at the end of the day, so I'm not going to place a trade, like just before midnight broker time. That's when the actual spreads open up. We'll see crazy things happening. Okay, we've actually reached our target, 10.35%, and we've only had one loss. So let's pull up the trade details in the chart. First of all, the graph, we can see here our one losing trade, which is great. We can see here that we've had a total of 5 trades altogether, and because we're using risk management, the lot sizes are varied depending on the size of the stop loss on each trade. And let's have a look at the statistics, see what the numbers say. I know it's going to be good anyway, so let's have a look. We've got our profit target was reached, $1,000 profit on a 10k account. We've got relative drawdown 2.75%, that was our maximum, so that's fine. Number of closed trades is 5, number of profiting trades is 4. So let's pull up the calculator and have a look to see what the actual win rate is on that one. I think that works out at around about 75 or 80%. So we get a 4 divided by 5 times 100, and yeah, that's an 80% win rate. That's completed this example of using the EMAs and RSI on a 15-minute time frame. Watch out for my next video. I'm going to do the exact same thing but use a different time period. So the period I used on this one was starting from March 2004, so that was 21 years ago. I'm going to do something more recent now, so maybe March 2024, so 20 years into the future from the last test. So watch out for my next video. If you like to see these sort of videos and see more of them, hit the like and subscribe button. Subscribe to my channel now and you'll get notified when I bring out a new video. I usually do one of these per week, sometimes 2 in a week, but usually 1 per week, just to sort of test the actual strategies to use for prop firm challenges. And going over the rules again for this strategy test, we are using prop firm rules for this one. I'm going for a maximum daily loss of 4%, a maximum overall loss of 10%. That if we reach any of those numbers, we actually breach our challenge. And the maximum profit target I'm going for is 10%, even though some prop firms are actually 8%. But you know, if we can do it at 10%, we can do even easier with 8%. So come back and watch my next video and we'll do the same test again with a different time. Thank you.